Okay, good morning, everybody. We are here today with Maria Carras. Is that how you say it?
Karis, yeah, that's good
Carras,
enough.
Maria Carras, from Carras Creative, and she is a coach and mentor to virtual assistants. And she's prepared a little presentation today for us all about how she started her virtual assistant business. So we're going to turn everything over to her. And don't forget, if you are not on live, you can watch the replay.
Great. Thank you so much. It's so great to be here. And thank you guys for joining or watching the replay. It's great to have you here. And I'm guessing a lot of you are here because you want flexibility in your life. You want to start a business working from home and earning an income and contributing to your household. So today I'm going to share with you how you can do that. Start a business working from home without having to sell anything, without having to pester your friends and family, and how to use your own skills to start your business, which is what I did about 7 years ago, and I still do that now. So if that is what you guys want, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. I'm going to just share a little bit about me so you know who's talking to you. My name's Maria, and I'm a digital marketer, and I'm a coach for virtual assistants. I also run a membership site for virtual assistants, for new and established virtual assistants. So that's kind of like a side thing to what I do, to my virtual assistant agency, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on. I'm a mom to 2 little boys, and I have a British husband, and now we live in the United Kingdom out in Essex. I've worked for myself since 2011. So what is that now, like 8 years? So I worked in-house in London for a film studio, and I was a film publicist. It was very, very cool. And after 2 years, I left London and I came to Greece in 2011 to get married and have children and be near my family so they can help us with the kids and stuff. So I moved back to Greece, and that's when I started working as a virtual assistant. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was charging like $7 an hour because I didn't do any training. I didn't have anyone telling me what to do. I was just like, I'm happy to get paid sitting in my pajamas, doing data entry for people. Like, I'm totally happy with that. It's like 8 years later now, and I've grown that business from $7 an hour, do not do that, to an agency. I run an agency, and I have a team of virtual assistants working underneath me, and we support coaches and course creators in managing their courses and their students and their memberships. So now that I've reached a stage where I'm 8 years into kind of running my own business, my agency is pretty much running itself. We have long-term clients that we've worked with for like 5 or 6 years. I'm now switching focus a little bit and starting to help women and moms to achieve the same kind of freedom in their life. It's something that I've always been passionate about, teaching and coaching others. So I'm now coaching moms how to start their own virtual assistant business specifically. That's what I'm going to talk about now. So I know you're probably watching the replay. You've probably got like 57 tabs open. So if possible, if this is something that you're really, really interested in doing, I really encourage you to kind of pay close attention, turn off all distractions, and we can dig in. And if you have any questions at all during the webinar, you can use the chat or comment below if you're watching the replay, or you can email me at hello@mariacarras.com. So I know if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment below. Tell me, I'd love to hear from you. Why are you here? Why do you want to create a business working from home? What is motivating and driving you to do that? And we all have our own reasons, even if it's just because you want to work in your PJs, maybe you don't have kids and you just want to take it easy. Let me know in the comments below, what is it that makes you want to create a business working from home? And if you aren't working from home, or maybe you're not working at all, what is it about your current situation that you want to change? What do you not like about your current situation? Feel free to put it in the chat. And what is it that's stopping you from taking the leap? Do you not know where to start? Have you not had any guidance? Do you not know where to get your information? What is stopping you from taking the leap to starting your own location independent business? And it could be something as simple as confidence. You don't have the confidence to do it. You don't have the support system to do it. What is it that is stopping you from taking the leap? Yes, hi, Brooke. Working from home allows me to be flexible and show up for my kids' functions more often. Yes, we don't have to miss football practice or Christmas plays. You can be completely flexible in your business. You work when you want, where you want, and you don't have to answer to anybody but yourself. So that is just the joy of being your own boss and being a virtual assistant specifically as well. So if that all sounds like you, if all of those questions resonated with you, if you've taken some time to think about your answers and you're kind of getting clarity about what you want and what you want your life to look like, then I'm going to kind of talk you through how I started. So I'm just going to describe a little bit more. This is you guys. If this sounds like you, let me know. You want to earn money without sacrificing time with your friends, family, and doing the things you love. You want to be home and present in your kids' lives. That is huge for me. You want to use your hard-earned skills to be your own boss instead of working for somebody else, right? Like we're contributing to somebody else's dream instead of our own. Who wants to do that, right? You want to contribute to your household income. Whenever I talk to moms who want to be virtual assistants, it's like one of the biggest things. They want to be able to contribute. Like they used to work in an office and then they went on a maternity leave and they never went back to work. And they kind of just feel like they want to support their family. They want to pay off debt or save for a house or go on a lovely holiday. Like everyone has their own reasons, and there's no reason why you can't do all of those things. And I bet some of you have tried to work from home, like you've done network marketing, you've done direct sales, you started a blog maybe, and you ran out of steam. You hoped and prayed that things would just work out. Or you've just put your head in the sand and not try to do much about it. So I'm gonna stop you right there. We kind of all get caught up in like the grind of our daily lives, the kids, the housework, our husbands, and we don't take time for ourselves. So this little hour or however long we have, I'm not sure, 45 minutes, is just for you to entertain the thought of what it would be like to actually run your own business and be completely location independent and to design your own days. So if you've done all of that, you've probably feeling frustrated, annoyed, overwhelmed, like you'll never be able to find a way to earn a living working from home. It's something that other people can do, and it's not something that happens to you, right? Like, have you ever felt that way? Like, oh, she can do it because of this and this reason, but it won't ever happen for me. Like, there's no reason you should feel that way. There is absolutely no reason you should feel that way. So you wish you could just find the thing that's perfect for you, that will allow you to grow a sustainable business, that gives you a healthy monthly income, because yes, money is a huge driver for a lot of us. So this is what I'm going to teach you today really quickly. Not really quickly, over the course of like 45 minutes. So I'm going to teach you how I built my own virtual assistant business, following these steps. And there's nothing stopping you from you guys following these steps too, and being on this path as well. So number one, I'm going to tell you why there's never been a better time to start your VA business. Number two, I'm going to teach you how to get in the right mindset for success, because honestly, it all starts there. Step three, I'm going to show you how to narrow in on the skills you can offer, because that's somewhere where a lot of people fall down. Like they don't know what they could actually provide as a service and get paid for. So we're going to narrow in on your skills. Then we're going to identify your ideal client. And then we're going to teach you how to perfect your elevator pitch. And finally, I'm just going to go through some quick steps, things that I did that took me from being a VA that charged $7 an hour to now running an agency where we charge $60 an hour. So before we dig in, I want to share my story really, really quickly so you know how I got here and learned all of this stuff. I didn't have a coach or anything teaching me. This is like all trial and error. So just 7 years ago, I had just moved to a failing economy in Greece from the UK. I had applied and interviewed with almost every single film company in the country because I worked in film and nobody was hiring. So I quickly realized I actually needed to do something on my own. That was me at the Cannes Film Festival, by the way, living the dream. Not really, but yeah. So maybe you can relate. Maybe you also kind of struggled with how are you going to support your family? That's what I struggled with. Like, how am I going to provide with my family? Nobody's hiring. I can't get a job here. And I started to think, like, what am I really good at? What are my talents and skills? What have people complimented me on? What do I enjoy doing? How can I turn that into a business? But then how do I even start a business? How do I market myself? How do I get clients? Like, these were all the questions that were running through my head. And luckily, by complete surprise, my former employer in London, they offered me a remote job. Like, I didn't even know this was a thing. Like, people working remotely. This was 8 years ago, right? So it wasn't, I don't know if it was that common, but for me, it was a complete surprise that somebody would pay me to work for them thousands of miles away. So yeah, I soon realized that working remotely was a real thing. That happens. People do that. Businesses hire people to work from a location of their choice. And like, that's like, oh my God, if I can, and I thought, if I can do this for my former employer, then why can't I do it for other people as well? So that's when I realized, I tried to force finding a job and I kind of completely stepped into this new kind of world for me. Like, I can work for anyone, anywhere. And that just completely blew my mind. So then I went on places like Upwork, like the job sites, Upwork, Freelancer. Like, I wasn't into Facebook groups just then. Facebook groups weren't really like that big, I don't think, back in like 8 years ago. They've kind of just started coming into like their own now over the past 5 years. But back then, 8 years ago, I was going on Upwork and Freelancer and all these job sites to get clients. And I started working with clients and doing like all these different types of things. And by doing all different types of things, I kind of started to get clarity around what I liked doing, what paid the most, what kind of clients I started to work with. But the point I'm trying to get here is that you just have to start doing. Just start working with clients, do the things, do the tasks, and you'll get a lot of clarity that will help you out later on. You just need to start doing them. So as a virtual assistant, just to give you a quick rundown of the kinds of clients that I've worked for, I've worked for luxury home decor brands, virtual stylists, stress management coaches, tech startups, fashion startups, wedding photographers, event planners, business and life coaches, nutritionists, like the list goes on. And I quickly figured out that I could charge more by specializing in a service and or industry. So after doing lots of different tasks for lots of different people, I started to realize that I actually really liked writing copy, just writing landing pages, emails, blogs. So I combined my VA services with copywriting packages. And that's when things really, really started to take off for me. And not only did I niche in like a service, I also niched in an industry. So I really wanted to focus on coaches, business strategists, course creators. Like, they were now my niche. So I niched in a service and in an industry. And that's when things really, really took off. So after I did that, I kind of got clarity. I got confidence. I was so proud about the business I was building, about the life I was creating. I was able to be with my kids. My husband left his job and now he works with me in the agency. And he's kind of the primary carer for my kids. So I'm able to focus on my business a lot more, but then also have the flexibility to be with my kids when they need me, which is just, you can't put a price tag on that. That's what life is all about. So like I said, today I run my own virtual assistance agency. I have a team that I love and adore, and I cannot do this without them. And I'm also the main breadwinner in my family. I talked about this a lot. I have 10 more times with my family. I don't need to repeat that. So my students, the people that I coach, they're all doing the same things. Michelle, we started working together, 3 weeks of working together. She booked her first VA client. They were perfect for each other. And now they're still working together about a year later. So this works, you guys. So where do I start? You're probably itching to know, like, how do I get started? How do I make this my reality? Okay, let's go through the steps that I talked about. First, we're going to talk about really understanding that virtual assistance is very much in demand. And you probably don't need me to tell you this. If you spend any time in Facebook groups, you will probably see multiple posts a day about either someone looking for a VA or someone wanting to become a VA. And the reason those posts exist everywhere is because they are very much in demand. Virtual assistants are very much in demand. So why are they in demand, and why do people want to become virtual assistants? Why is it a good option for you? So the number of online businesses increases every year. In 2017 alone, online businesses made £4 billion, which is even more dollars. So more and more businesses are going online. There are more startups coming up. There are more solopreneurs. There's more coaches than ever before, and they're all online. They're all doing business online. And every single one of these businesses, I guarantee you, they have at least one VA, And you want to be in that. You want to take a bite out of that, right? So another reason this is a good option for you, there are very small, if any, startup costs. Like, honestly, if there are going to be any costs, it'll probably be your website. You can do it yourself, but honestly, your hosting, your domain name will probably be your biggest costs. But I can even tell you that you don't need a website to get started. I didn't have a website when I got started. So if you're going to invest in anything, it'll probably be your website when you first start. You might invest in some coaching, maybe not coaching, courses maybe, but even then, honestly, you can find whatever you need to train yourself online. So if you really, really wanted to bootstrap, you can absolutely do that. Thirdly, providing a service, if you do want to make money online, providing a service is honestly the quickest way to earn money online. I truly believe it's not like selling a product. It's not opening an Etsy shop. It's not drop shipping. Honestly, it's just using your skills and providing a service, because all you really have to do is give your time. And that's kind of the easiest thing to do. It might not be the easiest thing to do if you're a mom, but if you can get your kids to nap or get some childcare in or work after they've gone to bed, that's all you need to do. Give your time. And people need services. Like, everyone needs a service all the time. And you can launch your business with skills you already have. You don't necessarily need to train up. Especially if you've worked in a corporate job before, if you've run your own blog before, if you have your own Etsy shop or anything like that, you have skills already that people will pay you for. So why are virtual assistants such an attractive option for business owners? They allow business owners to free up their time to focus on revenue generating tasks. That is the reason people hire VAs, is so that they can get their time back, so that they can delegate the tasks that are not generating revenue to a VA who loves doing that stuff. And then the business owner can focus on the bigger picture. Also, hiring full-time employees is expensive if you think about all the contributions you have to make, health insurance, pensions, all of that stuff. It's expensive hiring a full-time employee. So it's not an attractive option. They don't need to worry about desk space. They don't need to worry about having you come into an office. They don't have to worry about getting you a laptop and getting you a desk and all that stuff. They don't have to, I mentioned, going back a little bit, they don't have to pay for holiday pay or sick pay and all that stuff. And also, businesses can hire virtual assistants for specific tasks as needed. And they can hire VAs with different specialties rather than having one person come in and kind of doing a mediocre job on a full-time salary, doing many different things. So it's a very flexible option for businesses. They can hire as and when they need a virtual assistant. But in my experience, we've always cultivated long-term relationships with our clients. So that is also an option if you're worried about not getting sort of long-term clients and only doing one-off projects. It is also possible to be like a retainer virtual assistant where you're getting a monthly income from that one client regularly. So that is an option as well. How do I change my slide? Okay, so now we know why it's a great time to be a virtual assistant. Now I want you guys, so you've kind of seen why they're in demand and how they're such an awesome option for businesses. But you also might be thinking, you might be thinking like, okay, there are so many virtual assistants out there. How am I possibly going to get hired? They're all better than me. They're all trained. They have more experience than me. Why would anyone hire me? And there's not enough clients to go around. That's the thing. Like, how do I find clients? I can't find clients. Those are kind of the beliefs that we tell ourselves and that kind of block us from moving forward. So we're going to focus a little bit on mindset right now. First of all, I want you to get into a positive space and like really envision what your ideal day looks like when you're working as a successful virtual assistant. So really get down to the gritty details. What will your day look like? What time do you start and finish work? If you're following along and you want to type this in the comments below, go ahead. It's really helpful to kind of really bring this out into like the physical world when you write it out or you say it out loud, just to really bring your vision to life. So what time do you start and finish work? What kinds of clients are you working with? What industry are they in? What tasks are they asking you to complete? What do they say to their friends about working with you? So if you have 5 or 10 minutes to kind of do this little exercise, think about what your life would look like 6 months down the line. You really start to see what's possible, because these are all real things that can happen. So take a moment to visualize this, complete this exercise, and work towards this. This is what we're going to be working towards. And really, if you're doing this, if you're going to be doing this business, it's so important that you realize that you're actually breaking the mold when you do something like this, okay? You might be doing something that your friends and family will laugh at. They'll probably think that you'll never be able to do it, that nobody can earn a living working remotely or having their own business, especially if you're a mom and your time is stretched. So it's so important to surround yourself with people who will support and inspire you. Okay, join Facebook groups. This can all be free. You can join Facebook groups, join memberships, masterminds. Be surrounded by people who are doing the thing that you want to do, who are living the life that you want to live, because their energy will feed, you will feed off of their energy. You will learn from them. They will support you. You will turn to them for advice. It is so important to be surrounded by these kind of people and this kind of energy. And if you can, find a group of supportive in real life friends. Because I've made a lot of friends online, especially when I was a mom with a newborn. I didn't go out of the house a lot, so I didn't have many sort of in real life friends who knew what I was doing or understood what I was doing. So I made a lot of online friends, and they're still my friends today, like 10 years later. So they are fantastic. But if you can find a group of supportive in real life friends, go to networking events, go to mompreneur events, find those people in real life who get you, who are going through the same challenges that you're going, and someone you can share your journey with, the ups and the downs, okay? That is so important. And also watch and listen and read the content created by people who have achieved what you want to achieve, okay? Listen to podcasts, watch webinars if you can. I know time is very limited when you're a mom, but I listen to podcasts when I do the dishes, after my kids go to bed, as I walk them to daycare. Like, there's times that you can squeeze this stuff in and it'll inspire you. It'll ignite something in you to kind of take action when you have those like free 5 minutes to do something. It'll really help. It helped me so much. Okay. So limiting beliefs. What limiting beliefs do we have when we're starting our business? I won't be able to find clients. No one will want to hire me. There's too much competition. Like, if you guys have ever tried to start your own business, you probably thought all of these things, right? So I want you to repeat after me. I know this can only be so effective, but it's important that you read these things and you understand these things and start believing them. Because there are businesses who need my help everywhere I look. especially for virtual assistants, everyone is a potential client. Everyone you come across who is running their own business, who is freelancing, your hairstylist, your dog walker, your babysitter, clients are everywhere. Secondly, I can help someone grow and scale their business with skills I already have. So a skill that you have, somebody will very likely want to pay you to do that for them. Even if you think it's easy for you and you think nobody would pay me to do that, yes, there are people who will pay you to do the simplest of things, even if you think it's really, really easy to do. Thirdly, I am ready to learn from my clients so that I can be of service to them the way they need most. The biggest thing about virtual assistants, I think, is being sort of motivated and committed to serving your clients. You need to be of service, okay? If you have that sort of work ethic and that commitment to help another business, you're going to go such a long way, okay? I've hired so many virtual assistants that didn't have this. They didn't have the commitment and the drive and the work ethic to help another business. To my business, they didn't have that, and they did not last very long. Not because I fired them, but because they just disappeared. So if you are going to approach this business as a learning experience, because every client you take on, you're going to learn something new, and you're going to be adding to your tool belt with every new client. So be open-minded and be open to new experiences and learning new things. And lastly, I'm unique. My story, my message, my skills, and my experience are the perfect fit for my ideal clients. Okay, a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I live in Poland. No one's going to hire me, or I don't speak English very well. No one's going to hire me. That's not true. Your ideal clients will be a perfect fit for you specifically, okay? Oh, my slides are not changing. That's helpful. Okay, so everything I talked about now, who feels like this is starting to become a real possibility for you? Is this something that's exciting for you? Let me know in the comments below if this is sounding like a really real good option for you. And as you do that, I will go on to step 3, which is how to narrow in on the skills you can offer. What can you start offering to business owners that they will actually pay you to do? Okay, where do we start? Honestly, the best place to start is, the skills that you already have, of course. What work have you done in a previous job? So if you've worked previously, think about or write down, are there any skills you excel at? Like looking at your job description from your past job, looking at the projects that you worked on, looking at comments and praise that you've had in your previous job. What is something that you excel at? It could be anything. Don't worry too much about how it applies to online business. Just think about what you excelled at, what you were naturally good at. Then think about, are there any tools or apps that you're skilled with? Like accountants will be skilled in specific tools, project managers will be skilled in other tools, social media managers will be skilled in other tools. So what tools and apps, just list them out and see what you know well. What do you really enjoy doing? Like what could you imagine doing all day long? And what comes naturally to you? Like, do you if you could spend all day on, like I could spend all day on Instagram. Like honestly, I love Instagram. So I could spend all day on there. So if someone wanted to pay me to do their Instagram, I would be more than happy to do that. So is there something like that that comes naturally to you that you would naturally gravitate towards and that you'd want to kind of spend all day doing? I used to be a teacher, and I started to realize that the thing I was good at the most was creating content and sharing with my colleagues. It came naturally to me and I enjoyed it. Great. So you're creating content for teachers, so like worksheets and workbooks and things like that. That is so useful. And helping your colleagues as well, so you'd be great at systems and processes and SOPs and stuff like that. That's really good. So yeah, that's very much in demand. And then what you could also do is research the most requested VA skills. A good way to do this, and how I did it as well, was I went onto Upwork and I looked at all the job postings for people who needed virtual assistants, and I kind of looked at what people were asking for. And I kind of started to see the same things crop up over and over again. And then I also, at this point, I also kind of knew who my ideal client was. Well, I kind of didn't know yet who my ideal client was, but I knew I wanted to work with creatives. So I started talking to creatives like photographers and wedding planners. Who else did I talk to? Like coaches and stuff. And I started to conversations with them, and I would ask them, you know, like, what is it that you guys outsource? What do you need help with? And that's kind of where I got an idea of what it is that they actually would pay to have help with. So research your what is most needed within your ideal industry. And here I'm just going to list real quick. These are the most commonly outsourced tasks that I've seen business owners request. This is not a comprehensive list by any means. It's a much larger list, but just to give you a general idea of the most commonly outsourced tasks that I've seen, because in my business, we also do VA matchmaking. So we match business owners. They come to us and we match them with a virtual assistant within our network that we think would be a good fit for them. So we've had hundreds of applications come through, and we've done our research and we've looked at the data, and these are the things that we've seen come up over and over again. So you can like screenshot this list or whatever, write it down and look at what it is that you could offer or that you would be interested in learning more about, because you could always look at something and then train yourself up on it. And these are the most commonly used tools and software that we've seen business owners ask that their VAs are knowledgeable in. So it's things like Tailwind, WordPress is huge. If you know how to do WordPress, you'll be very much in demand. And then project management tools like Asana, marketing tools, building funnels, analyzing Google Analytics, and then different systems and automation tools. Again, screenshot this list and see what it is that you already know that you could start offering support in. Okay, so now we know the tools, we know what skills we want to offer, we know what tools we can use, and now let's think about who our ideal client is, and that is like one of the most important aspects of any business, no matter what you're doing, whether you're product-based, whether you're service-based, you need to know who your ideal client is and who your target market is. So we talked about this a little bit earlier on, but how do you know who your ideal client is? Honestly, this is like the biggest question new VAs have. I don't know who my ideal client is. And that is okay. That is okay. You'll figure it out along the way. But if you want to get started thinking about it, think about who inspires you. What businesses do you follow online? Who do you follow on Instagram? Whose blog do you read? What industry have you always wished you could work in? What industries do you already have experience with? So I've had VAs, students of mine, who have always wanted to work in fashion, others who always wanted to work in book publishing, and they go and seek out clients and businesses who work in these industries, and they start like interacting with them, creating relationships, and then they start to kind of get a sense of what they need help with in their business. So really kind of think big. There's nothing stopping you from thinking big. Like, what industry would you love to learn from, to work in? And if you want to tame it down a little bit, like, what industry do you already have experience with? That's like the lowest hanging fruit. It's like, what industry do I already know about? So you can kind of go there. So again, like I said, we've helped hundreds of business owners find their virtual assistants. And these are the kinds of businesses that come to us looking for virtual assistants. We've got medical professionals, therapists, psychologists, bloggers, accountants, marketing strategists, photographers. Like, this list is just anyone could be on this list, but these are some of the common ones that we've seen. And there might be someone in here that you would love to work with or for. So again, take a screenshot and see if there's an industry here that really resonates with you, or that you already have experience with that you can transfer to your VA business. So once you know who your ideal client is, it's important to, like I said, start those conversations, connect with these people, become friends with them, network, go to in-person networking events. You need to start these conversations so that you can, it's kind of like a form of market research. You can create relationships and ask them what they're struggling with in their business, what do they love about their business, and offer value where you can, like offer ways that you can help, or maybe there's tools that they don't know about that you do. Maybe there's a strategy that you know about that could help them. So it's so, so important to talk to these people and listen to the words that they're using, because you're going to use those words and those phrases and those pain points, and you're going to use that in your marketing. So it's really, really important that you, before you even start your business, just connect with these people and start those relationships. Okay, so now that we know what your skill is, what your skill is, who your ideal client is, you can start forming your elevator pitch. And your elevator pitch is what you'll use to introduce yourself at networking events, at social events, when people ask you, what do you do? That's the dreaded question, right? When you work for yourself. So it's important that you kind of nail this a little bit so that you don't stumble when somebody asks you. You need to kind of have it down. So that's what I just talked about. Get confident in talking about what you do. You need to get confident about it, because a lot of people, especially with virtual assistants, they probably never heard of it before. So you need to talk about it in a way that is clear. You need to be clear about who you help, how you help them, and why you help them. So what do you do? Who do you do it for? What do you help them achieve? And you're going to probably try different elevator pitches. And I'm going to show you a template now that you can fill in. But write down your elevator pitch, say it out loud, try it on like a friend or your partner. Maybe try it on your kids and see if they understand what you're talking about. Like, it's important that like a 5-year-old can understand what you're talking about. So practice talking about what you do. Share your elevator pitch with your support group. Ask them if it's clear enough, if they have any questions, any follow-up questions, because you're going to have all of this stuff figured out if you're going to talk about your business confidently. So here's like a little template. The main components of an elevator pitch. So you would fill in these blanks with my name is, and I am I help blank with blank so that they can blank. So take a moment to screenshot this, write it down, and see if you can fill it in. You might not be ready to fill it in yet, but again, let's kind of envision 6 months down the line, what are we going to be saying about ourselves? What is our elevator pitch going to look like 6 months down the line? Once we've kind of started our VA business and started working with clients and it's all wonderful. Here's mine. For our VA agency. So my name is Maria Carras, and I am a marketing virtual assistant. I help coaches, consultants, and course creators to manage their courses and students so that they can spend more time creating content, engaging with their customers, and growing their business. So right now I've been really clear about what my job title essentially is, who I help, how I help them, and what they gain by having my help. So it's important that you list that benefit. A lot of people leave that off, but it's important that you stress the benefits of hiring you and also get really, really specific about what they get by hiring you. Okay, it's the specificity, like the devil's in the details, right? The specificity is what will ignite interest in other people. And if you've done your market research, you'll be able to fill these blanks in, like especially the last one, you'll be able to fill that blank in with a lot of good detail that will speak directly to your ideal client. And they'll be like, oh my God, you totally get me. I seriously need to work with you. Okay, so once you've got your elevator pitch nailed, what do you need to do? And you're ready to start your business, you're ready to start accepting clients, share what you do with a real life person. Like I said, test it out. And if you're feeling confident, post it to your Facebook timeline, share it on your social media. Get in touch with 3 people in your network, people that you know, people that you've worked with, who might need or may know someone who needs your support. Okay, tell them, I'm starting this new business. This is what I do. This is how I am. This is how I help them. Do you know anybody who would need this kind of support? There's no harm in asking that. Most of the times, like, your personal friends and your support group are happy to help you. So these are all the ways kind of like you can get started. Okay. It's kind of generalized a little bit, but like if you take each of those steps, you'll kind of get into a place where this is all becoming a reality for you. You can start researching, like really bringing this to fruition. So to recap, we learned that a virtual assistant is very much in demand. We learned how to get in the right mindset for success. We learned how to narrow in on the skills that we can offer. We learned how to identify our ideal client, and we also learned how to perfect our elevator pitch. So seriously, get your first client, and the rest will come. The first client is probably the hardest part. But once you get your first client, you'll get confidence, you'll get your skills, you'll get a testimonial, and then the momentum will just pick up from there. And this is how I took it to the next level. I'm just going to brush past these really quickly because I know I don't want to take up too much of your time, but this is how I took it to the next level, and I started to become sort of a sought after sort of premium virtual assistant. So this is kind of taking it, like I say, to the next level. So niche down. So you become the go-to expert in your field and you become more efficient in what you do. That's what niching down, that will probably come like maybe 2 or 3 years into being a VA before you kind of do the general admin, sort of general VA stuff, which is what a lot of virtual assistants do. If you niche down, the quicker you do that, the more money you'll be able to make. Sell packages so that you're no longer tracking your time and you can create more predictable income. So instead of charging hourly, which is what a lot of VAs do, create packages, productize your service, and you'll be able to make more money and create more predictable income. Build a team. If you envision building a team or having people support you, subcontractors supporting you, start early if you can. Start making friends with other virtual assistants. Start outsourcing work if you can. You can diversify your offerings by doing this. You can take on more clients because you have more time available. You can make more money and spend less time working in your business. So if you do eventually want to build a team, try and start early if your finances allow. Create an unforgettable client experience. This kind of goes from the get-go if you can do it. A lot of new VAs are kind of like finding their feet and they're finding their processes. But when you kind of get to a place where you're kind of confident in your clients and your process, start to think about how you can create an unforgettable client experience. If you can do this from the beginning, amazing. So what you want to create is like a seamless onboarding process. You want to be sending professional contracts and proposals. You want to create streamlined workflows so that your clients can't help but gush about you to their friends. So one of the big things about virtual assistants is after a certain point, you don't have to look for new clients. You'll just be getting referrals from your current clients. That is kind of the stage that we're at right now. And always be collecting testimonials. Again, you should be doing this from the beginning, okay? So that you always have proof of how awesome you are to show to prospective clients. You can use it in your social media, in your marketing, put your testimonials everywhere. So make sure to constantly be asking for testimonials. And if you can automate the process of asking for testimonials, better yet. I just want to quickly show you some case studies of students of mine. Christina, who lives in New York, she went from working full-time, she still works full-time, she found 3 of her own clients. She was working for a VA agency. She found 3 of her own clients once we started working together, and now she's earning 3 times more than what she did at the agency. I helped her through mentoring her one-on-one, and she also did my group program. And she's now working with 3 of her own clients. She's left a VA agency, which pays a lot less than if you were working on your own. and she's still working with those 3 clients a year later, I think it is now. Hannah as well, she went from 0 clients to a team. She now has a team of virtual assistants working under her. And I just helped her, I think it was 3x her income, or I don't know what it is. I should know the math. This is an email that she sent me. So she was earning, when was this? Back in 2018, she had earned $694, and then I should know the math. It's more than 2 times. Maybe it's not more than 2 times. She doubled her income, I guess. I should know the math, but I don't. So yes, we worked together. I helped her strategize her business. I helped her, guided her through her services, her clients, and she's now making more working with less clients. So those are the people I've helped. Those are the people I've worked with. And I guess, see my next slide. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I guess, but like, we've all done this through the VA Inner Circle, which is my membership. So that the doors are open for that now. You guys can join. It's at that link over there. And I just help women start their virtual assistant business, get more clients, work less, spend more time with their kids, up-level their skills, all of that stuff. It's an awesome place to be. And yeah, that is it. That is it. That is my journey to starting my virtual assistant business, and all the steps that you need to take to kind of start thinking about starting your business, getting into the right mindset, finding clients, and how to really up-level your business as well. If you have any questions, pop them down below or put them in the chat, wherever you like, and I will answer them. But if you wanted to connect further, you can find me on my website, mariacarras.com. I love Instagram. It's my favorite place to be. So Carras Creative is my handle. And I've also got a free Facebook group and a free 5-day challenge to book your first or next client.
Wow.
That's it.
That was amazing, Maria. Thank you so much.
No worries.
I could totally resonate with all of that. That was wonderful.
I'm glad.
And the beauty of it is your clients will be able to list their services on our Momentum platform too and get more traction also.
Cool.
But you guys should definitely take advantage and connect with Maria. And we're going to share this out as much as we can, because that was some great information. Super excited about that. So we will send out the YouTube link, and you can find it on our YouTube channel. And again, if you want to contact Maria, here's all of her info. So thank you so much for joining us today.
No worries, guys. Thank you. No worries. Sorry. My kid was screaming downstairs. No worries. It's so good to be here. Thank you for having me. It was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.